rocket like rocket fuel.
Slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. That'll be caught by Rice. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And an alley to run. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They're running with Stokes. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Starks. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And here now, the Baltimore offense.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
On 3rd down, Starks. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset.
Yep.
Draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
From the gun on 3rd down, Cunningham. And some room to roam now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Yeah, he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Cunningham. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, what a game. He was knocking on the door for 200.
And one of the things I saw come out of last week's game in his post-game press conference, he gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, as you might expect. He also talked about the wide receivers blocking on the perimeter because no big game happens unless wide receivers block as well.
And watching film you showed me, he also made people miss. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
I'm coming after you. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jackson on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Following the fumble recovery, Cunningham. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cunningham. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in, and he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Cunningham. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The Bucs on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Cunningham looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. This is Starks to start the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
I'm coming. Kill.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Gonzalez. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for them here as we sit in the second quarter. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. To throw on 2nd down, Cunningham. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Those far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Cunningham to throw. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Mike 56. And come on out here. Come get some. Come get them.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as the Ravens push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
We played to win. Let's go.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Here's Cunningham. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 3rd and long. Cunningham. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Throw left side, complete to Moss. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Jackson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it. That can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A final shot before break. Cunningham. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon. Once again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, as we'll run you through what's going on both today and later on this weekend. Some very intriguing games in that early window, highlighted by the one going on at the Superdome. A big test for the Saints, as they'll have to contend with the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the New York Giants. And finally, a good one on Sunday Night Football between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, Starks. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night as his guys continue to pour it on. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
Whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
This quarterback now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Going to give this time to the tailback. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a 1st down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Cunningham going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Kill. Eddie Weapon. Check safety. Check field.
They'll begin the drive on the ground with Starks. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Here's Jackson. Complete. Starks on the screen. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Go. Go.
To throw again, Cunningham. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Cunningham from the gun. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Check. 45. Mike, 45.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Jackson from the shotgun. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards on that one, at a Raven first. Throwing now, Jackson up first down. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the ship.
To throw is Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Switch.
Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gonzalez. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A run here for starts. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Cunningham looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Cunningham. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cunningham. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. Now Cunningham. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
On 2nd down, here's Cunningham. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Cunningham. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And that will write a finish to this ball game. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. And it is no good. So maybe a little final act of mercy there. And that's how this one ends. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, the perfect season remains in